On the cover of the birth announcement Mark Gilman's parents sent out in the spring of 1960 is a drawing of a baby with a microphone announcing his birth. Decades later, the selection of that card for Mark's arrival leaves one wondering, how did they know? Mark Gilman is Salem born and bred. He grew up in a sports family with his dad being a football coach. Mark went on to play football through his high school years, and sports left an indelible mark on his life. He was determined to keep sports in his life. Since the mid-1980s, Mark has been a fixture in Salem-Keizer as a sports broadcaster. He first got into radio as a teenager and went on to pursue it in college.
When I went to Sprague, we had video production at Sprague, and you may remember that with the giant reels of tape, that was the videotape. And when I was there at the time, the Booster Club wanted to see the games, and they didn't always all get to go to the game, so they would show these at the Booster Club meetings. And so I got asked if I would do the play-by-play. Had a good time doing it in the meantime, and I always had that in the back of my head that I might like to do this. And that's where it went from there.
He obtained a television production degree at Mount Hood Community College in 1980 and has since worked for 3 different radio stations in his career, covering sports as well as the eruption of Mount St. Helens and other big news stories in Oregon. Gilman was brought in by a veteran sportscaster, Mike Alliger, to announce some local playoff games. Alliger eventually took his broadcast talents to Portland. Alliger's departure opened a door for Mark Gilman, as well as his father, Jerry Gilman. Together, Jerry and Mark formed a dynamic duo, shared the excitement of prep sports at 3 different radio stations. Mark eventually followed in his dad's footsteps and became a teacher. He began his classroom career at Silverton High School in 1991 and then landed a job at North Salem High School in 1998, where he retired from in 2020 after a 30-year teaching career. As of 2021, Mark has broadcast 17 separate championship events for football, basketball, and baseball, most of which included his father, Jerry. The duo's enthusiasm and great humor entertained audiences for years, earning them the appreciation of the community.
I try to be an artist on the air to try to describe things, so my tongue is like one giant paintbrush. That's about what it is. The idea of providing detail to make people feel like even if they aren't there to see it, that they can picture it. That's what I hope to do.
Mark has been a pillar for high school sports in Salem-Keizer community. Mark has continued to be active in sports broadcasting community and has pushed for athletes to have a season, even if the season was shortened and the schedule was juggled around. When the time came, Mark was there, as always, with microphone in hand.